Can we talk for a second about these ridiculous rankings? I want you guys to make sense of this to me. Database top 25 is out. I have to put it out on the podcast form, but it's out on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. So I'm just a little confused here, guys. Notre Dame is 6-2. They were down 20 to Louisville, right? 10 days ago in the fourth. Now they buttered it up, made it 13 with like 10 seconds left or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Notre Dame is 6-2. Louisville is 21. I'm sorry. Notre Dame's 6-2 at number 15. Louisville's 21 at 6-1. What in the fuck are we doing? Louisville's played more Power Fives.
Has one less loss.
One last loss and just beat them by basically head-to-head. 20 points.
Yeah.
This is why it's a sham. This is why you need a large playoff, because they'll never give the proper respect where we could trust this. This system sucks. You need a large enough playoff. I'm not talking 12, larger to cast, because this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. And it happens like this all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I pay zero attention to rankings, so this is my first time looking at these, in a couple of years probably. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. And since Patty sees right here, the one other glaring weakness here is that JMU is not in the top 25.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's so much stupid shit. But the reason why I mention this is I know we know the ratings are a joke, but this costs schools money. This is $1 million machine here. If you're higher ranked, more people come there. More, you know what I mean? Like you
can
bullshit.
Negotiate. You get more.
There's more fan
TV.
interest. There's more viewers on TV.
Yeah.
This is absolute bullshit, man. It's like, who's voting? They should have to answer to this, because it's like, who the fuck put them? You should have to have like a security guard watch 12 hours of football, because I don't understand how you get this from this. You know what I mean? Like it
sounds like it's a rigged system, huh?
It is. It's rigged. This is like a third world election. You know what I mean? It's just, maybe it happened here. This is like a first world election. All right?
That's right. That's true. Arizona recount.
Oh man. I don't know. Anyway, folks, look,
we should have a recount. We should demand a recount.
Who is voting for that? Who the fuck did they not watch the game last week? Did they not watch the game last week? This is 10 days ago. This isn't week one.
Well, let's face it.
Fucking days ago.
The three of us watch a lot more football than 85-90% of the people that vote on that. So whether it's the AP or the coaches, doesn't matter.
Maybe we create a system where the people that watch the games can properly rank the fucking teams. Then
I think the three of us should personally.
Yeah, I've said that forever.
TCE top 25.
And then JMU not in the top 25. They've won more road wins than any team in the whole top 25. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. They have a better resume than Georgia. Georgia's got one win over a team over 500.
Oh, that's the other thing too. I mean, they're not looking at this year. They must be looking at the last 2 years. Because what has Georgia done to deserve?
Let me push back a little bit. Georgia has whooped a lot of teams' asses
this year.
Yes. JMU has played some pretty tight games.
A 1-score game with Vanderbilt.
Well, it ended up being like a 3-score game, right?
No, that's 16, right?
Is that 16, 17, somewhere in there? Anyway, look, Georgia's pretty damn good.
JMU has actually been up double digits every game of the season.
Yeah, they have, been way out in front. Those scores are a little deceptive, but anyway,
dude, JMU's resume is better than Georgia's resume right now.
Who does JMU belong over though in the top 25?
Like everybody.
They're at number 26 right now, and
they have more
the coaches and the AP.
They have more road wins than they deserve to be in the top 10.
Bold statement. I just feel like maybe you want to beat another ranked team, and
ranked.
That would be.
I just told you the rankings are a fucking joke.
Well, look, all right, we maybe on a computer metric. I don't want to overhype the boys here, but again, winning close games against
close games, they just blew out Georgia Southern.
They did rock Georgia Southern.
They were up 28 on Utah State.
Yeah, they were rocking South Alabama.
What are these close games you speak of?
Well, they let them back. It's not the voters' fault that it is the fault that they aren't watching the game.
Yes,
but it's not their fault that the final score looks pretty damn close in a lot of these. I mean, they did hold off Troy. Troy had an opportunity to win that game.
TCU was winning close games last year. They were in the top 10.
True.
Why is Miami still receiving votes in both polls?
Absolutely, dude.
Miami?
They were ranked last week after they lost to Georgia Tech
over JMU.
Yeah,
that tells you all. It tells you everything you need to know.
Unfucking believable. It is the shittiest system. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I could dig deeper. Oregon is ahead of Oregon State. Why? Oregon's best win is against Colorado. Oregon has one win against a team over 500, and that is the Colorado Buffaloes, 4-3. Right? Oregon State's only beaten 5-1 Utah, 4-2 UCLA. Fuck you, voters.
You know what the worst part about all this is? Okay, the AP is kind of like what Ring Magazine. It all it really does is track the lineal champion. Yes,
does Ring Magazine still exist?
It still exists, and as a matter of fact, it's probably the most respected. I guess determiner of champions in boxing because all these what are the alphabet belts kind of just are corrupt or whatever. They're not recognizable. There's too many of them. Whereas Ring Magazine is basically the AP. They're like, all right, we are who we are. We do it our way. Whoever beats who, is the champion.
Yeah.
Even if they're ducking people left and right, and it happens in boxing too. But college football has a committee that is the authority, kind of like Dana White has for the UFC, and yet. In the UFC, I'm pretty sure it's just like there's no like reports of corruption. You fight who you have to. There's a system to it, and there's a lot of transparency. Whereas in college football, we're 8-9 years into this playoff, we still don't know what criteria leads to.
They move the goalpost. They move
ranked,
the goalpost nonstop. Dude, how about this one? How about this one here? Louisville number 21, Tennessee 17. Tennessee has one win over a team that's 500, and they might not even be 500. They're Texas A&M 4-3. Their second best win is UTSA without both teams didn't have their starting quarterback, right? UTSA's 3-3. Meanwhile, Louisville has
they lost to Pitt.
Okay, whatever. They've played double the amount of Power Fives as Tennessee. They won against Notre Dame by double digits.
I don't think this is your best argument because Pitt sucks.
What? Tennessee's got nothing on their resume that says they're good.
I agree.
Nothing.
I'm just not getting behind this because of how they lost to Pitt. I don't know. Let's jump into some games here. We all these rankings.
Tennessee lost by double digits at Florida.
Well, let me say, Notre Dame doesn't get punished because they were on a grind and they finally hit their limit of, and they got beat by Louisville. The grind was too hard for them. Louisville was on a similar grind.
That's what I'm saying.
And they finally lost. They
played
week.
more. Louisville played the most Power Fives right now.
Louisville gets
you stop the season. Louisville's played the most Power Fives. They've played double a lot of other teams. So what? They lose and it really hurts them, but for other teams, it doesn't hurt them. What's the sense behind this? It
doesn't make sense to it. I mean, we could talk about this every week, every year.
Oh, we have.
These polls are a complete sham.
Yeah, it's all nonsense. I don't even understand how Tennessee's ahead of Missouri. Missouri has beaten Kansas State, who's 4-2. Missouri's beaten Memphis, who's 4-2. Missouri just won at 5-1 Kentucky, but Tennessee's ahead of Missouri.
Missouri's only loss
it's all fucking nonsense.
They had LSU dead to rights too, and basically shit the bed right at the end.
I can't deal with this shit. All right, folks. Where right now we got the airport. They're tied 10-10 against Sam Houston State at the Bear Claw down there in Huntsville, Texas.
I do like what Nathan Haynes says in the chat. Says there will be zero tolerance for Patty C slander this evening. I forget the guy's name from last week, but I don't think he's popped his head in the chat.
Oh, it's
Josh P or something.
Josh Pate came on our show. That's my theory. Josh Pate is a hater. He's probably out there just catching strays. I don't know who you are, Josh P, but fuck you. I'll try and give you some more stats.
Malcolm, you're not looking at this. I'm not saying what might happen. Like, okay, if Louisville played Tennessee, I might even take Tennessee. But based on resume, I don't understand how they can have that. So I'm not trying to do anything but look at the resume. Louisville has beaten more Power Fives than every school in the nation. There's no hiding that.
There's a feather in your cap.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. All right. All right. Let's go.
We should have like very clear criteria by this point about what a good win is how much it's valued.
Well,
there should be a point system.
That's what I'm saying.
You beat the number one team in the country. That is the number one team in the country. That like the current week. That is worth 100 points.
But Patty, but the problem is then Condoleezza Rice can't put in the bigger name schools.
Right. Right.
Yeah. No, this is a perfect example though. Is Miami loses to Georgia Tech. They stay in the top 25. Louisville beats Georgia Tech and it means nothing. It means Louisville beats Indiana and Notre Dame, beats Notre Dame by more points than Ohio State did. And apparently it means nothing, but for Ohio State, those wins count.
Yeah.
For Ohio State, those wins count. For Louisville, they don't count.
A hair away from being the number one team in the country here.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. This is a fucking joke. Get a large playoff. It needs to be way more than 12.
All right.
It's a fucking joke.
All right.
But hey, next year will be better than this year. Baby steps.
True.
Baby steps.
True.